Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Respawn Aim Fire. This week, I'm going to be doing a little review of Rogue Waters. It's a really fun indie strategy game that I fell in love with because of my particular guest here, is the one who brought me onto it. But we will get to that in a second. By the way, I'm Adam, of course, and today I have with me Mateo.
Hey, what's going on, dude?
What's up, bud? So I want you to tell everybody about yourself, where you're from, the things you do, and all that good stuff, in case they don't know who you are because they're idiots.
Yeah, no worries. Let's see. I'm Mateo, obviously. I'm on Twitter as Mateo's a Twit, and you might know me from probably the Great Game Debate podcast. That's the main place where I spend my time in the community, recording the podcast. We are a podcast that is about debating video game topics and ideas, and trying to do so in a respectful way and maybe with some amount of seriousness, but usually the debates kind of devolve into chaos, as you yourself know at this point.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, my episode should be up relatively soon, but I would still go listen to it because I would say of the last, I don't know, 4 or 5 guests you have, I would be the lowest on the totem pole. So it's a really good show if I'm number 5 on the call sheet. So go check it out.
We've had some heavy hitters recently, dude. Andrea Renee, Rihanna MP, just a lot of really, really cool people. Isla's one of our favorite guests. She's just pure chaos whenever she comes on.
Yeah, it's a great show. Awful top 100 list, but it's a great show. No, I'm just kidding. It's great. But yeah, anyways, the Rogue Waters, real quick, I will talk about it. This is just the basics of what it is. Rogue Waters is a tactical turn-based roguelite set in a pirate world overtaken by a terrible curse. Recruit a ragtag crew of pirates and grow them into fierce warriors. Befriend and call upon classic creatures of pirate myth. Chart a course through an ever-changing game world and turn the tides of battle on land or sea by manipulating the map to gain advantage and a fresh take on tactical turn-based combat. I would say, oh Lord, and our things disappear for a second. I would say the easiest sell I would have for this is think of it's a roguelike as in like Slay the Spire or Inscription, where you have the map, like the web map, and you go from place to place and choose the battle you go to. You lose items per run, but you gain experience, so your characters do get better. The cool little twist is that it's pirate themed, so I'm a big fan of anything that's Pirates or Cowboys, so they got me there.
Oh yeah.
And it starts with ship-to-ship combat, which is sort of like a little puzzle where you pick your ship-to-ship combat like attacks, and then you go into put your guys on a grid and fight on a pirate ship or in a fort. So it's a very cool and interesting twist on the genre. But I didn't even know about this game until I saw somebody on Twitter talking about it. Somebody who was also at PAX West. So, Mateo, I'm going to give it to you because you are the reason that I saw this game in the first place, and I'm very thankful for you. But go ahead and tell everybody about.
Man, I'm just glad to share the love for this game, because there's this pretty tiny little dev team that we talked to at PAX West. I like their press release a lot. I like the little the blurb they have about the game. Because the way that I've been describing it to people is it is like if Into the Breach, FTL, and XCOM all like had a baby, but they got rid of some of like the bad parts of it. Like the guy at PAX was like real big on one of the things he liked that he didn't like about XCOM is you'd have a 90% chance to hit something, you take your shot, you miss. That doesn't happen in this game. I've got maybe like a dozen hours in it. I beat like the first act. I think I'm almost through Act 2 at this point. It has been fantastic. Like you, I am very pirate pilled. Anything that's pirate, I'm there. I don't know about the Cowboys side of that. That's
well, that's just the 8-year-old in me that's like, oh yeah, Pirates and Cowboys, those are great.
That's fair. I'm trying to think of like a good recent cowboy game. I was such a sucker for like Call of Juarez way back when.
Mm-hmm. Desperado 3 is pretty good. That's the stealth one. And then also Red Dead Redemption is probably the best game of 2018. So there's that as well.
Fair, definitely. But yeah, so Rogue Waters though, it's got a lot of the DNA that I like. Like I said, it's got that FTL vibe with the tactical ship round beforehand. The only problem I'm having with the game is it has been hard to kind of get the difficulty level up. I think they're still doing a little bit of balancing, or they might need to do a little bit of balancing. Because I will tell you that pirate, the ship combat round, where you're just kind of choosing where your cannons are shooting, you get to see where the enemy's attacking. If you have more than like 3 combat points, you're set, dude. Like you can just destroy the enemy. I like the twist that it has. I like the sea creatures that you summon to assist you. I think that the builds they have for the specialist classes are really well done. They have a lot of unique abilities. They all play completely differently. The modules change up a lot of things. There's just a lot to love in this game. It's got a lot of content. It's got a lot of customization. Um, Honestly, the only thing that I wish it had, I was telling Jonah this. I wish there were more like actual cosmetics in the game. Let me modify my ship. Let me change the sails. Let me put on costumes on my pirate. Like that's all I need, dude. All I need. But the dev team themselves, super dedicated, super lovely. We had a long chat with them at PAX. I was mostly just playing the demo, but the dev team was so excited. They kept popping over while I was playing, and they were like, "Oh, they're like, you should go back and do this other thing. Take this rope, take it to this other rope, kick that guy off the ship." They're like, "That's a way better move." They're like, The entire concept of our game is trial and error. That's why we have the ability to undo your actions because you try something, it doesn't work. Undo, try something else. There's a better move out there, probably.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad. So I saw it at the mix at PAX West, but I didn't go up to it at that moment. I'm like, oh, pirate, that looks cool. So I'm happy you talked to them because like that sounds awesome. I also another interesting thing. Not so I love roguelites, so I don't need this thing I'm about to talk about, but it's cool it's in there. But there is like a fully fleshed out story. Like you have voice acting and like there's an actual like plot to go through.
The amount of voice acting broke my brain. Like
Yeah.
I was like, this is entirely voice acted. There's like little sublines, but like the main story stuff, it's fantastic. It's honestly really solid. Great surprise.
Yeah, I'm about to, I think, finish up Act Two, and I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
there's just like new stuff every time. If you go on they give you some. It's like okay, whenever you start a mission, it's like here's three options of like a run to go on. One of them is the story one. The two other ones are if you just want to grind up, earn some currency and stuff like that. But I do like how I can basically just always go down the story one and then be good enough to keep going at it, and
For
just keep
sure.
getting new story and stuff like that. So, yeah, it's really cool and interesting. If you, we'll just put it, what is your a favorite thing you like about this game? Either a character, a class, whatever it is, and a nitpick that you would have as well.
Okay. Let's see. My favorite thing so far has been loading up a ship with nothing but glass cannons, which are they do a crazy amount of damage. They have super high damage potential. One hit point. They take a single hit, they're out, right? Um, but man, when you have enough combat command points to properly use like 5 cannons in one turn, ridiculous. It's the best thing in this game is just destroying other ships. You can get it down to like one pirate when you're boarding their ship to attack them. Just a single pirate defend or a single sailor defending it. Amazing. Nitpick. I wish there was a higher difficulty level. I am struggling to find difficulty in this game, which is fine, I think, because I think game actually really serves as a good intro to a lot of more deep and crunchy kind of tactical games. I think this is like a good little like I don't know. Here's your first little roguelite experience, your first tactical experience for someone that might be new to the genres.
Very good. Yeah, I like the variety because it is an indie game. It's on Steam only at the moment. It's
Mhm.
$30. So I was like, okay, we'll see. There's only so much you can do with indie budget. I'll forgive it if the ideas and stuff are good. And I do like the amount of variety, just because every time I'm going on another run, they add another wrinkle where it's like, oh, now there's fire on the ground. If you push a dude into fire, he takes 2 fire damage at the start.
Mhm.
To like now there's a blight thing mechanic. I didn't get him in my crew, but there was like, oh, there's a musketeer you can hire, and I missed him, and I haven't seen another one since. Like, oh man, I want a musketeer so
Whoa.
bad. So I like how they add onto the variety, even though again I'm 8 to 10 hours in, and I'm still seeing new things as we go along. If I just say,
Same.
oh yeah,
Same. I think I just ran into the hammerheads. Don't know what they do because some of those guys are heavy hitters, so I just try to take them out as
kill
fast
them
as
as quick as
possible.
possible. Yeah, I don't mess with those guys at all. So yeah, it's crazy how much variety and stuff is in it. That also goes to my negative, is I do enjoy the game. Again, I'm still playing it a lot. We'll probably continue to play it. It is very much okay. Do your ship to ship battle, which is a cool twist, but then it's like let's jump onto this top of this pirate ship, and it is that about 15 times in a row. And
That is
it's
true.
not a lot of varying. Again, they add like, oh, now there's a tar tile, so they do stuff like that, but it is just a lot of top of pirate ships. Again, it hasn't bothered me to where I don't want to play it anymore. But it is a thing I've noticed. Like, there's a lot of top of pirate ships in this video game, so it's fun whenever you go to like a new, like, oh, I'm on a beach this time, or I'm attacking a fortress. That changes up a little bit, but it is a lot of board a ship and then do your battles. Just, I think, a little more variance in the table dressing, I think would be an interesting thing once in a while.
I think I agree, honestly. I think that if they added a little bit more like verticality to the maps, that could be fun. It's a pirate ship, have different levels for the encounters. Maybe we'll see some more content come down, though. Honestly, like, I'm surprised for the price point of the game, just how much content is in there, just how much variety, like you said, is in there.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's a small nitpick. But with you on that.
Question for you on your runs: do you extort every time?
No, I actually have never extorted. So this is a fun thing where you get to certain points where instead of being a combat encounter, it is like a story encounter. So it's like, choose one of these three options and here's possible outcomes. One of those is when you get to a port town, it's like, okay, I can upgrade my ship, maybe heal up a guy or whatever like that is. Yeah. There is also an option to extort. I clicked on it once and it was like, oh, don't do that. People won't like you. And I was like, okay, I just won't do it. I've never extorted. So what happens when you extort people?
Oh, it's the best thing. So when you extort, it has like, here's the options for prizes, and it's usually like a good module, a good cannon, something like that, right? Extorting is super easy. All you have to do is they show you during the tutorial one time. They're like, for this particular mission, you need to get to the square with a single pirate, and then you can escape. That's all extorting is. So you can kind of cheat it a little bit if you there's a banner that makes you immune to being engaged. So basically, rather than that one movement, limit you have, if you're right next to an enemy, you can just book it right past him. That plus like a movement boost, you can make it to the end, and like extort successfully in like 1 or 2 turns.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know.
It's intimidating though. The message is so intimidating.
Yeah.
They start yelling. They're like, "I'll yell for the guards right now, dude."
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to chance. Like, I don't want to have have to do another engagement or it's tougher or something down the road. But if it's just, get the loot and get out, I'm gonna start extorting everybody.
Yeah,
I ain't worried
pirate
about
way,
it.
Dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna start doing that then. That is pretty cool. So I only have 2 of them. I don't know the third. I really like the idea. So the way that they make it a roguelike is like, yes, you absolutely can die and lose, and you will absolutely lose on your first run. Like, that's part of the story. But the whole mystical kind of turn to it is, I find really interesting. Like the fact that like your character is cursed, so like that's how you can't die, because you're cursed and you'll just come back to life. It kind of goes into like your superpowers or your ultimates, or you can call on the sea creatures, which I talked about earlier when I read the press release. I only have 2 of them so far. I love them. They feel like I save them up just for the last battle, just because let me just kill half the people in this map and before anyone even has a turn. So again, right now I only have the Kraken and the Mermaid. That's all I'll say. How do you feel about those powers?
I also only have the Kraken and the Mermaid so far. The Kraken is amazing. It's tough lining up enemies sometimes, but that's kind of the joy of this game, is like, if I move here, I attack this enemy, I push him over one spot, now he's lined up perfectly for my Kraken hit, since it hits in a straight line essentially. The Mermaid's power is cool. I have not figured out how to use it yet. Like, it is, I'm sure there's good ways to use it to like line up your Kraken attack or something. Haven't been able to figure it out yet.
What I love to do, by the way, just there's a video going on with this. People should watch this. So a lot of this game is, again, you're on a tile, but movement is a thing, because a lot of characters, when they attack, they move into that spot, which is how you push people against walls, or you push them off a ship. Like, it's very much like attack and then move so that they take damage. The Mermaid special ability is you put it down on a certain spot and everyone moves away from that spot. So when you first start a map, a lot of them sometimes are near like the edges or the corners. So there's a really easy way to like line it up. Like, before anyone even moves, you do it at the very beginning and they all get pushed into walls and they all take like 2 or 3 damage just from jump.
Nice.
Or maybe you push everybody into fire at the very beginning. So it's kind of a luck of the draw, like if it's actually going to be useful or not. But it's pretty good. I'm interested to see what that last one is.
I can't even guess what that third one is going to be, honestly. Like, I don't know. Maybe a big shark, megalodon. I don't know how that would work on like attacking on the land though.
Yeah, because you think of thinking about Pirates of the Caribbean. There were mermaids for sure. There was a kraken.
Yep.
Maybe I don't know. It's definitely some sort of sea creature. I don't know. That'll be interesting to see, whatever it is. So much of this game.
I'm curious. I'm curious. It's got like you said, it is a surprisingly well thought out story in this game. I'm used to just kind of tuning out the story in these games, just being like, whatever. It's got you got a satisfying game loop. I'm in. I'll play that.
Yeah.
It has a good story too. It's rare, especially for the price point.
That's very good. So I guess, kind of the end point, and I'll ask you, like, yeah, do you suggest this? I mean, obviously I have an idea, but yeah, how do you feel?
Yeah, this is an easy buy. I don't pre-order a lot of games. I pre-ordered this the second I got back to my hotel room from PAX. Like it was that good. The demo impressed me that much that I wanted to play more of it. Like I said, I think this is a good game for buddies that may not necessarily have tried out a lot of roguelites or strategy games. It's a really good intro to the genre.
Yep, and I'll agree with it. Again, they got me on the aesthetic of the pirate stuff, and I'm a big strategy fan, as you may know.
Mhm.
So again, the intersection of two things I like worked out for me, and yeah, I very much enjoyed it. I would say, especially with it being people who play on Steam, I feel like are very understanding of like what they're getting into, and like, oh, a $30 roguelike pirate theme thing, I'm into that. So like, if you're already that person, check it out for it. And I would keep an eye out for it. Hopefully, it's successful enough they can bring it to console. That's always a thing. Whenever you're at PAX or talking to developers, or like, you know, tell your friends to wishlist it, even if they're not going to buy it or not, just because those numbers matter and they mean a lot. So I hope this game is successful. I think it's doing pretty good review rise. I think it's 82 or 83 on Metacritic last I checked, which is pretty good, pretty
Which
solid.
that kind of matches up with my expectations. It's not a 10 out of 10 game. It is solidly like 8.5, somewhere in their game for me. It's good. Like I said, like there you will not find a lot of better games with this much replayability at this price point. Uh, the pirate theme is cool. It adds to some arguments I've heard about Western games being the superior genre for strategy games
That's what I
because there's
heard.
more variety. You're getting some piratey stuff in there too. It's good stuff.
Yeah, not hanging out with any kids in this one.
Ooh.
That's an inside joke for Great Game Debate podcast. But yeah, again, thank you again for coming on. Just tell everybody your links and stuff. And again, I'm with you. I would recommend it. Hopefully, it comes out to consoles and places for more people to get it because I could suggest it to more people. But as far as this, I'm like, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time and I don't think I'm done with it yet. So big thumbs up for me. But yeah, Mateo,
Yep.
tell everybody where they can find you.
Cool. We are the Great Game Debate podcast. I'm one quarter of the team there. We're on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. Me personally, I'm on Twitter. You can find me at Mateo is a twit. Mateo is a twit. Uh, yeah, I don't post a lot, but you should follow me anyway. I always like making new connections.
Exactly. Twitter and going to PAXs are a good way to meet people. So that's what
Absolutely.
happened to us. So it was a good time. Yeah, thank you again. Appreciate it. Everyone coming by and checking out the review. See you next time.
Peace.